Final Saturday night of 2017 here in South Florida. Hard Rock Stadium has been home to the Hurricanes since 2008, and it's a bonus home game for Miami tonight. 7-0 here this season. They even did the Canes walk into the building. The Badgers are the visitors in every way. Wisconsin travels well. Buckle up for a top 10 showdown. You're watching the Capital One Orange Bowl. Big Ten's had a nice bowl season so far at 6-0. Wisconsin trying to win a 13th game for the first time ever. Miami trying to win consecutive bowl games for the first time in 13 years. And warm, and I stress warm, greetings to those of you watching in Madison and surrounding areas where it might just feel like minus 18 degrees tonight. Here, we're not expecting any sympathy, but it is unseasonably cool, 61 degrees under clear skies as we are nestled in between Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday night with Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. Todd McShay and Molly McGrath are on the way. You might think Wisconsin and Miami couldn't get more opposite, right? From the climate right on down, you're wrong. Lots of similarities. Both these schools feel like they were one win away from playing in the playoff on New Year's Day. The 12-0 start, the 10-0 start. Grease, a chance to finish on a high note tonight.
Yeah, really a chance to finish on a high note. The season couldn't have gone any better for these two teams, 12-0 and 10-0, as you mentioned. But tonight, an opportunity not to take a step back, but to take a step way forward to next year for both of these teams. Mark Richt has engineered a turnaround at Miami that is unprecedented, and we know the consistency of Paul Chryst in Wisconsin. They both have it going.
Quick check on my watch. We have been on the air for 4 minutes. That's a new Miami record for this season without mentioning the turnover chain. And we will get there, but the best defense in the country belongs to Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin, I think they're underrated. They are excellent. 10 out of 11 of their starters, Steve, are seniors. So they're experienced. They're well coached by first-year coordinator and Jim Leonard, and they're going to fly around. I think they're underestimated with their athleticism in the back end. Two corners, and Nate Nelson and Derek Tyndall, who are outstanding. On the other side, the other Broyles semifinalist, coordinator Manny Diaz, has his defense and that turnover chain going, but it starts up front with the big guys stopping the run. Derek Norton, R.J. McIntosh, Chad Thomas, and a creative scheme from Manny Diaz with some slanting, some corner blitzing, keeping running backs inside, funneling to those linebackers. They stopped Josh Adams and Notre Dame cold. Then they bring in two defensive ends in pass rush situations and make them look like linebackers, confuse offensive line, and then bring a true freshman safety from the corner as a linebacker. That's why they have more sacks than any team in college football. And then you mentioned that chain, right?
Yes, I did.
It all starts with recognition from Trajan Bandy, a true freshman. Shaq Quarterman keeping eyes on the quarterback and then making plays. Manny Diaz has infused this team with confidence, and they're going to go against a team that's had trouble turning the ball over in Wisconsin.
Bursting at the seams, and here come the Hurricanes. And you knew the Badgers would show up in a big way. Here's 12-1 Wisconsin. 5-0 on the road this season. They are 13-1 in true road games under Paul Chryst. And this certainly, even though it's a bowl game, feels like a true road game. Their star is the running back, Jonathan Taylor. He needs 79 yards to set a freshman record for most yards in a single season. More on that from our pal, Todd McShay.
And, you know, he may be as smart as he is talented as a runner, a lot like your college experience, Levy. He's going to double major in physics and astrology. But on the field, he's done a great job this year as a freshman, being patient behind a veteran offensive line. And I think he may be the quickest with the best mix of acceleration of all these great running backs we've seen with Wisconsin in recent years. Now, he's coming off a tough game against Ohio State. First time all year long he was held under 70 yards rushing. And tonight, he's facing a swarming Miami defense that's going to make him work for every inch he gets.
What about the 18-year-old running back?
Well, he's got to protect the football. That's the most important thing. Forget about the yards, the records. He's put the ball on the ground 5 times this season, and you know Miami's going to come after that ball.
Yes, no question. Must be a big game. We've brought in reinforcements. Molly McGrath is on the field with head coach Mark Riggs.
Thank you, Steve. Coach Malik Rosier battled through a shoulder injury. What does your quarterback need to do to be successful tonight?
Just do his job, make his reads, put it on the money. He's got reads in the run game and the pass game. Just get everybody where they're supposed to be, and then put it on the money.
Your team is undefeated here at Hard Rock Stadium this season. It's already getting pretty loud. How will that be an advantage?
Well, I hope it is. If we give them something to cheer about, it'll help.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Miami has won the toss, and they have deferred. Wisconsin will receive. Derek Tyndall, you spoke of him. He is back to return the kick of Michael Bagley. Miami out in their black uniforms, and we are underway from the Capital One Orange Bowl. Here's Tyndall, 1 yard deep in the end zone. Out to the 20, the 25, able to stay on his feet. And some good starting field position for Wisconsin. Some of the key positions you look at for Wisconsin, the quarterback and the running back, they have coughed up the football, and Miami lives on takeaways.
Yeah, and this has been the story of both of these teams' seasons. Miami taking it away, and for those that aren't familiar, Wisconsin with their quarterback, Alex Hornibrook, 15 interceptions on the year. He has got to protect the football, especially early in this game in a hostile environment in Hard Rock.
From the 34, first down and 10. Hornibrook with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. They fake it to Taylor. And Hornibrook will just airmail that one, throwing it away on first down. Hornibrook struggled in that Big Ten title game. Again, they came up just a drive short against Ohio State, falling 27-21. But he threw 2 tough interceptions in that game and did not manage a touchdown pass.
I think both the quarterbacks in this game, Hornibrook and Malik Rosier, they understand that this is not going to be an easy game. These are 2 really good defenses. They're going to have to manage situations, protect the football, make the plays when they're there, third down and red zone, but protect the ball above all else.
On second down and 10. Give it to A.J. Taylor. Trying to turn the corner. Maybe picks up one on the play. Michael Jackson to stop. Brings up a 3rd and long, and we get the Chick-fil-A impact players from Todd McShay.
Yeah, the matchup to watch, I think, today is going to be Hornibrook, as you talked about, with the turnovers, not always seeing the field. He's got to keep an eye on number 4, safety Jaquan Johnson, who is a big-time playmaker, and they move him around a lot. He's great in run support, 85 tackles. He'll pick you off if you don't know where he is. 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. This guy makes big plays.
3rd and 9. Hornibrook all by himself in the backfield. Troy Fumagalli is his solid tight end. He loves on 3rd down. Hornibrook will step up and throw, and it's caught by A.J. Taylor. Across midfield, and he's got first down yardage. First clutch throw is good for 18 yards.
This is a great sign for Wisconsin. Watch the step up from Alex Hornibrook. Sees the lane, and then this anticipation between 2 linebackers to A.J. Taylor. That's as good as you can do it from the quarterback position, and a great start for Alex Hornibrook.
Jonathan Taylor checks back in as they move the chains. Sort of ease some of the pressure out of the building a little bit. A lot of red in the building tonight here. A lot of Wisconsin red. As we mentioned, the Badgers do travel well. 3 tight ends in the game. Handoff, Jonathan Taylor, his first carry, he's got first down yardage, and then some. Ball comes out. We mentioned the fumble problem. Miami says they have it. Let's see. I think they're going to say that Taylor was down.
Yeah, I think that line judge saw that he was down. Let's go back and take a look at it. There was Jaquan Johnson around the ball. Such a good playmaker at turning that football over and popping it out. And Jonathan Taylor, keep an eye on him. His great run initially, well blocked up front. This will be a great angle.
The previous play is under
It's a good call
review.
by the officials on the field. But still, that's not a good sign for Jonathan Taylor.
After review, it was a fumble recovered by Miami. The ball be put at the 30.5. First down Miami.
Wow. And you know what that means? It's turnover turnover chain time, people. There it is. The Cuban link.
That'll be controversial.
D. Delaney sporting the hardware right now. And we talked to Mark Richt about this. He said sometimes at home they have to go silent on offense because the place is so loud after they bring out the turnover chain. On first down, Malik Rosier is throwing and completing to Lawrence Cager. First down yardage.
Looks back to take one more look. Was this ball moving before his knee went down? I don't think it was. I mean, I understand. Bill, I understand. I mean, that's what I was looking at. The ball didn't look like it was moving before that knee hit the ground.
No, I still had the...
Travis Homer is moving. He's across the 40. Go ahead, Bill.
I still had the ball in control when that knee went down. Then the ball popped forward from there. So I was surprised, too, by the replay reversal.
Gain of 20 on the play. Restore that turnover away. Rosier trying to run for it, and he runs right into T.J. Edwards, the best player on that outstanding Wisconsin defense.
Well, what a great opportunity here for Malik Rosier. You know, you get the turnover, first possession of the game. You get the momentum. And coming into this game, we were wondering about Malik Rosier and his confidence, right, after the last 2 times out have been brutal for him. And a great start now in plus territory at the 37.
Wondering about his confidence and his shoulder. On 2nd and 9, handoff, it's Travis Homer. They push back to see where they spot him, maybe for a loss on the play. Garrett Dooley was the first man there, down to Molly.
Well, Steve, before the game, I talked to Malik Rosier about his throwing shoulder. He told me this is the best it's felt all season. He's in no pain, had no extra treatment before this game. He said he needed those 3 weeks to get as much rest as possible. And before he felt like he was forcing some balls, had to put all his strength behind it. But now he said it feels effortless. His passes have more zip to them.
Watch for some of that zip right here on 3rd down and 8. Little stunting up front by Wisconsin. And it's an incomplete pass. Derek Tyndall able to knock it away.
You mentioned Derek Tyndall playing in his final game for the Wisconsin Badgers. He's one of the smartest defenders I've seen on tape. Look at him react here. As soon as he sees Barrios with an in-breaking slant, he breaks at the same time and meets the ball at the arrival spot. That's textbook from a corner.
Miami's going to try a long field goal attempt here. A 46-yard attempt. I beg your pardon, a 54-yard attempt. Michael Bagley on the way. Short. No good. Short. Bagley, who's hit from 57 in his career and 50 on the season, could not hit from 54.
What seemed promising drive for Wisconsin. Controversial turnover, but Miami not able to take advantage. Yeah, and now Jonathan Taylor's need to settle down a little bit. Even though I think it was a bad call, it's still the ball's on the ground. The ball should never come out of a running back's hands, whether you're down or not, but he's got to protect the football.
His first carry will be interesting. Hey, look at there. It's a tight end, Grease.
Love him there, Wisconsin.
Austin Ramish, big part of their running game. And it's Taylor running behind Ramish and able to turn the corner. And he'll hang on to the football as he's banged out of bounds by Jaquan Johnson after the first down yardage.
You mentioned Austin Ramish, one of my favorite players on this Wisconsin team. Here he is, number 20, coming in your living room, getting the block on the strong safety, Sheldrick Redwine. You want to find out where the football goes and where Jonathan Taylor going to go. You might want to just follow number 20 in white. He'll take you to the ball. 2
carries so far for Taylor for 31 yards. We told you need 79 to set the all-time single-season record for a freshman. Ball spotted at midfield. Taylor will get another opportunity, and he'll stumble forward for 3. R.J. McIntosh came up to make the tackle.
mentioned the struggles for Miami's offense the last 2 times out. Wisconsin was dominated in the Big Ten championship game by the Ohio State defense. Now, I know it was a 27-21 game, but they were dominated for 3 quarters. They did nothing on offense for those first 3 quarters. The only touchdown they had those first 3 quarters was Andrew Van Ginkel, the defensive end, on an interception return. So this offense needs to get some confidence as well.
2nd down and 7 off the play fake. Hornibrook, strong throw to Kendrick Pryor, and he's got the first down. And this Miami defense, Grease, you know, we know about the last 2 losses. They've averaged allowing 30 points in each of the last 3 games, so that takes back a little bit too.
Yeah, they laid an egg, right, in Pittsburgh, in the last game of the year. Manny Diaz would tell you that the ACC Championship game, they were outclassed, and they had no support from their offense. So I don't really judge this Miami defense on that Clemson game, but certainly they need to come out and dominate this game tonight.
It's Taylor, Ramish in front of him. And a quarterback under center. Hornibrook on the delay, and I mean a real delay on the draw. Jonathan Taylor. That looked odd. Down to the 20-yard line of Miami. It's a gain of 19.
This was either a mix-up with Jonathan Taylor or a really great okey-doke. He didn't even look like he was going to get the football there, and I think the 2 guys coming off the edge didn't know either.
Todd, is that being a patient running back?
Being patient. They love that play, though. I'm surprised that he looks surprised getting the handoff. They like to mix that up. They go drop back pass. When you run the draw, just like they did, their offensive line does a great job of being patient themselves and waiting, and then all of a sudden getting after the defensive front.
On 1st down. Here's Taylor for a few, and that gain is his shortest of the night. That's the kind of night he's had already. They are banged up at the tight end position. Sometimes we'll see Cole Van Landen, who's listed as a left tackle and wearing 71. He's wearing 85. When he has to play the tight end position, they'll look at him to block as he now exits the field.
Yeah, they had an injury. Xander Newville, their tight end, is out for the season. Troy Fumagalli has been struggling with injuries this season. Had a hamstring early in the year and been dealing with an abdominal issue as bowl practice has gone on.
That's Taylor in motion. They'll fake it to him. And they're trying to set up the screen to Ramish, the fullback, and nothing doing there.
See a couple of different things that Paul Chryst is trying to do with his scheme early to neutralize the speed of Miami's defense. Screens, they're nakeds, they're going to have some jet sweeps. They have to keep this defense off balance, because if they just pin their ears back and run at you, Paul Chryst knows that he doesn't have the speed offensively to combat.
3rd down and 8. Ball to 17 of Miami. Rashid Ibrahim checks in.
Alex Hornibrook, sorry Steve, loves to find his tight end Troy Fumagalli right here, one-on-one.
Hornibrook looking left and off the fingertips of Trajan Bandy. Looked like his receiver kind of gave up on the play. 4th down.
This ball, Steve, should never have been thrown in the end zone. The ball should have gone underneath to Fumagalli. Here he is. This is the primary read, and if this ball is put on the outside of number 81 right there, that's a 1st down, and that's a force from Alex Hornibrook.
A.J. Taylor, the receiver, just stopped running. Here's Rafael Gaglianone on to attempt a 35-yard field goal. He's straight on, and he splits the uprights. And there's our first score of the game. Badgers aren't hurt by that first turnover. 7:58 to go in the first. They lead 3-0. 3 of the 5 national championships that Miami has won. Played in the Orange Bowl. 1983 championship. Stunned Nebraska. 87, bottled up Potent, Oklahoma. 91, they had an unbelievable linebacking group. One of the great groups in college football history.
I think I was 8 years old here watching the 31-30 Miami and Nebraska game. It was awesome.
We talked about it. You know, some South Florida fans, you know, they miss the old Orange Bowl atmosphere of the old stadium. You know, Mark Rick, we asked him about how do you recreate some of that excitement. He said, you win.
Yeah.
It was exciting because we won. All that swag people talk about, we won.
Yeah, exactly.
And people said the game here against Notre Dame was as close as they've come to the old Orange Bowl atmosphere. First down and 10. Here's Miami trailing 3-0. Rosier will take off and have the first down. Effective running the football. He's out across the 40-yard line.
I think this is a big key for Miami offensively in this game. The feet of Malik Rosier, whether it's a designed run or whether it's just like this, if you're not comfortable with it down the field, pull it down and use your feet.
Rosier to throw out to DJ Dallas. Down the sideline, DJ Dallas, the true freshman. Able to rip off the big gain. Trell Jamerson knocked him out.
See, DJ Dallas stepped out on the sideline. Just not enough speed from TJ Edwards. No, he didn't. He was inbounds. And
that's good for 22. On first down and 10. Into Wisconsin territory. And on first down, here's DJ Dallas. Leon Jacobs made the tackle.
Everything this tempo and throwing the ball on the perimeter in space will do to a defense is tire out those guys in the middle. Alec James, Connor Sheehy, Olive Sonapolu, the three guys in defensive line for Wisconsin. Got to be in shape.
Second down and 7. Rosier trying to pick up the first down. He breaks free. And another big game for Malik Rosier. Down to the 25-yard line. When Leon Jacobs stepped on the field tonight, that was significant. He's playing in his 59th college football game. That's the most games played by anyone in FBS history. On first down and 10. Crashing going on down there. And Dallas leading with his helmet and shoulder pads. Very close to another first down.
Give some credit early on, too, to this Miami offensive line. They have been kind of the weak link on this Miami team, much maligned outside of their left tackle, McDermott. But they're coming off the football. They are up to the challenge of this blue-collar, physical front seven of Wisconsin.
Tyndall is back in there. 25 in white, 2nd and 2. On the ground. Travis Homer cutting inside the 10. And he'll push his way down to the 15, or rather the 5-yard line. First and goal upcoming.
Take a look at the left side of that offensive line coming off the ball. We talked about McDermott. There he is, 52, getting the block on Jacobs, which frees Homer to the outside. And you got Barrios with effort. Gives up a first and goal.
Just outside the 5. 3 receivers top of your screen. That's Homer next to Rosier. Gives it to him. Inside handoff. Inside the end zone for the touchdown. Travis Homer for Miami. The Hurricanes are on the board.
Great effort here from Travis Homer. You see Garrett Dooley, the defensive end, outside linebacker, was free. Nobody blocked him, but it was just the quickness, slice in there from Homer, and then the effort to get it in the end zone.
And Michael Badgley splits the uprights for the extra point.
What a great answer from this Miami offense. They did it. There's Dooley right there. You got to get up inside. They did it with quarterback run, some pass, and then finally with the effort at the goal line for Homer.
And the Hurricanes have opened up a 7-3 lead with 5:21 to play here in the first quarter. And when Miami plays, you expect some big names, big personalities, and big people. Warren Sapp in the house tonight.
Well, Warren looks good. Looks like he shed a few LBs.
Jamerson from the goal line. Out to the 20 and out to the 25-yard line. Strength in numbers. On first down from the 9. Hornibrook throwing from the goal line. Too low for Taylor to pick it off the grass.
So, Todd, I'm interested because that's a third naked that we've seen from Wisconsin offense already in the first quarter, and there's been nothing there. What are the things you think they can do to negate the speed of this Miami defense?
I think one of them is what you're talking about. They're trying to get the quarterback out. This speed is very obvious early on. I think Wisconsin up front does a great job of communicating in pass protection, but sometimes you notice on tape, and we're seeing here tonight, they get overmatched a little bit by speed, so they're going to have to continue to try different things.
2nd down and 10 from the 9. Give it to Taylor. He's stuffed after a 1-yard gain. Jaquan Johnson made the stop. We'll bring up a 3rd long.
One of the things I noticed that jumped off the tape when I put Wisconsin's offense on, there's a huge tendency to run the football when 23's in the game. For obvious reasons, I get that. He's a true freshman. He's not great in pass protection or catching the ball in the backfield. So that's something that Paul Chryst has to combat, because Manny Diaz knows when he's in the game, they're running it.
6 defensive backs in for Miami on 3rd down and 9. Hornibrook out to screen it to Rashid Ibrahim. Football comes out. Referee nearly gets knocked over. Zach McLeod able to put the lick on.
Great job with eye discipline there from McLeod. He wasn't fooled at all. You know, a lot of times when they bring in a different back, as you said, Greasy, they will pass and they'll keep that back in for protection. But he kept his eyes in the backfield, made his read, and that allowed him to get there in a hurry.
And that was Ibrahim who replaced Taylor on 3rd and long.
Yeah, he's been their 3rd down back predominantly, and for that reason, because Jonathan Taylor, it's no fault of his own. He's just young. He doesn't know all the pass protections and adjustments. That's why Ibrahim's in there.
Here's Anthony Lottie from his end zone, trying to blast it away. Braxton Berrios will let it bounce. And so Miami will take over with excellent field position. Out of the Wildcat now with DJ Dallas trying to create some offense for Miami. Even with the 7-3 lead, they had a host of playmakers who are all lost for the season. They lost Walton early, the other couple guys later.
Yeah, this is the big 3 for Miami. Walton was the alpha dog. Herndon was their best player at tight end position. All gone.
Again, DJ Dallas, speaking of gone, see you later. It's a Wildcat touchdown for 39 yards. And Miami adds to the lead. Hurricanes taking advantage of the short field off what was just a 39-yard punt. Extra point on the way and good. It's 14 points in 2.5 minutes for the Canes.
Right, and Miami came into this game only scoring 1 touchdown in the first quarter in the last 9 games. And now they've scored 2 already. Take a look here at the outside. This is Dooley. He's going to come inside. Connolly's going to come to the outside and miss the tackle. And then Jamerson, the safety, misses another tackle. This is just bad tackling from Wisconsin on the outside. That is not typical of the way that they've played defensively all season long, but you got to give some credit to Miami as well.
Game. That is Jack Cinch, the 5th-year senior. They call him 3-sack Jack because he had 3 consecutive sacks on consecutive plays in a bowl game. Just has not been able to be healthy and stay on the field. But a lot of injured players, you know, Grease, will step away a little bit.
No, not him.
Cinch's been full on like a full-time assistant coach.
Yeah, and he's been outstanding, and they're going to need some leadership here. They're not used to this, being in this situation down early.
See if Wisconsin's get a bit of a spark on the return. Latrell Jamerson, not much happening there. Miami to take charge early. 14-3, 2:45 left to play here in the first quarter. On 1st down and 10. It's Chris James, his first carry of the game. I'm just thinking about the yardage you probably lost in all your bowl games. You'd be way, way up on that list. We come up with the final minute of quarter number 1.
Such an impressive kid, though. Talking with him, I mean, Todd mentioned in the open, but such a respectful kid. You would never think he was a superstar running back.
No.
I mean, he's unassuming, works hard every single day. That's the kind of kid you love in college football.
He picked Wisconsin over Harvard. Any further questions, people? On 2nd and 8. Trying to hook up a Kendrick Pryor, and he could not hang on. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. And this is really the spot Wisconsin wants to stay out of. Although Wisconsin was excellent in 3rd down conversions on the season, number 3 in the country. Miami surprisingly struggled on 3rd down defense, pretty much halfway ranked in the country in the 60s. Hornibrook so far just 3 of 8 for 23 yards.
Manny Diaz, the defensive coordinator for Miami, really surprised me. He said, you know, the thing I'm most worried about, not the run game for Wisconsin, the 3rd and long. They're 16th in the country in 3rd and 7+ yards. And you wouldn't think, because so much of their offense is based off the play action and the run, but they've been very successful in these situations.
20 seconds left in the quarter. Hornibrook under pressure, and he'll throw it away.
This crowd is into the game, Steve. Manny Diaz senses blood in the water, and they're just going to bring a TE stunt right underneath between Chad Thomas and Trent Harris. Both those guys get to the quarterback with ease. Nowhere for Alex Hornibrook to go.
And the pressure really on the punter. Anthony Lottie had just a 39-yard punt the last time out when he was punting from his end zone. He's only punting from his own 8 now. A little bit better. Braxton Berrios is standing at his own 37. Here's the pressure coming. Lottie got it away. Berrios a signal for the fair catch at the 33-yard line. Fascinating dynamic with that. Coach sticking around to coach the bowl game. Here's Travis Homer. He's going to be shut down by Ryan Connolly and Leon Jacobs. And that's how quarter number 1 comes to an end. Miami very much at home, jumping all over Wisconsin. 14-3. We've only seen the turnover chain once. Come on back for the 2nd quarter. 14-3, the Hurricanes lead, and looking for more. Ball is batted up and caught. Andrew Van Ginkel comes up with a turnover, and that's exactly what the Badgers needed on the first play of the 2nd quarter. There won't be a turnover chain on the Wisconsin side.
Malik Rosier is trying to slip this ball to Braxton Berrios on a wide receiver screen. You're going to see him come right into your screen. This is just great athleticism from Andrew Van Ginkel. He did the same thing in the Big Ten championship game to J.T. Barrett and returned it for a touchdown. He forced another fumble in that game. He single-handedly kept them in that football game, and he's given his offense a great starting spot here in this one.
And he's been getting more and more playing time as the season progressed. You know how he kind of made his name? He leads the team in kickoff tackles, covering kicks. Great special teams player, too.
And we'll see what that leads to on 1st down and 10 from just outside the 20. Hornibrook doesn't feel the back pressure and throws to the sideline and completes to Austin Ramish. It's a short gain, but they'll take it.
You know, just going back to Van Ginkel, this team, they lost T.J. Watt and Vince Beagle off of last year's team, and they were searching for guys that were going to replace. They moved Leon Jacobs from the inside to the outside, but then they went out and got Andrew Van Ginkel from a community college in Iowa Western, and he's come in and had a huge impact on this defense in his first year.
2nd down and 8 at the 21 of Miami. Taylor not in there. It's Chris James. Stopped by Darian Owens, and here's Molly.
Steve, this Wisconsin team is fired up after that last play by Van Ginkel. A teammate of his even went up to him and put a towel around his neck like it was the turnover chain. Jack Stitchie then said to him, now that's our identity. That's how I need you guys to play.
You know, the poor Wisconsin kids have been asked all week, how come you guys don't have anything? What would you do for a turnover chain? And somebody suggested, you know, a cheese plate or something. Not as cool as a turnover chain. 3rd down and 7. Ibrahim is in to get a chip. Trying to go back shoulder throw, and it's caught. It's Danny Davis, and they're going to give him the touchdown. The true freshman, Danny Davis, on the receiving end. And Wisconsin strikes quickly after the turnover.
Great location on this throw and just outstanding concentration from Danny Davis. That's right over top of D. Delaney, who started this football game in place of Malik Young, the starter for the Hurricanes all season long. They felt like Delaney was a bigger corner.
Replay says the play stands as called. It appears the ball was outside the pylon, but if you don't have that indisputable video evidence, then you're going to go stands.
That's where the call on the field means everything.
It sure does.
Turn of events.
Wisconsin gets the turnover. And they were among the league leaders in the country in turnover as well. They just give it all the fanfare, all the attention Miami got. Got ourselves a ball game. You're watching the Capital One Orange Bowl, and things have tightened up in South Florida. 14-10 after the Wisconsin touchdown stands. Making matters worse for Miami, Malik Young, one of their starting corners, leaving the field. It was Young's interception against Bethune-Cookman that started the turnover chain. He got the very first honor of wearing it. We'll check his status as we go. And that ball will bounce out of the end zone. Here's 1st and 15. And the sack, Olive Songapolu. The big fella, 99 in the middle, dropping Malik Rosier.
Wow, this energy of this stadium has gone out, and this offense and defensive line for Wisconsin taking over. Olive Songapolu, what a name that is, what a play.
His 3rd sack of the season, 2nd and 19. Rosier throwing on the run. He's throwing away to no one.
College football anymore, Steve, is so much about momentum. Who can take momentum back? And it's these kinds of plays, these kind of energy from Songapolu, and now brings up a 3rd and 19 where Wisconsin and these rushers can tee off from the outside.
Songapolu will take a breather. Here's 3rd and 19. From the 16. Wisconsin only rushing 3. First catch from Braxton Berrios. Well short of the marker, and it brings up a 4th down. The first 3 and out of the game for the Hurricanes.
Smart play there by Jim Leonard in that call. Rushing 3, dropping 8, keeping everything in front of you. I've been so impressed with Jim Leonard all season. We know it was well documented what a player he was at the NFL level. He's found as good, if not better, of a coach at the college level in just 2 years on the job.
Zach Fiegels, his first appearance in the game. He's standing at the 10 to punt it away. Nick Nelson at his 33. Fiegels will fire. Might have been a little contact back there. Wisconsin trailing by 4 on 1st down and 10. Jonathan Taylor out just shy of the 35.
I think some people wondered, are these two teams going to show up to play? Do they want it, even though they're coming off of disappointing ends to the season? Listen, for Miami, it's been 15 years since they had a double-digit winning season. And for Wisconsin, if they win this game, it'll be the first time in school history that they get 13 wins. So we're seeing on the field 2 teams that are motivated to play.
2nd down and 5. After all, it's the Orange Bowl. Whole lot of cachet goes with that. Here's Taylor on the ground. And he has the 1st down yardage. I mentioned whether Miami is back or not, and talking with Coach Richt about that. He said, everybody has a different definition. Coach Richt said his definition of Miami being back would be competing for a championship on a regular basis. And he said, look, we were right there this year. But that last game showed us just how far we have to go.
I completely agree with him, right? All the talk about Miami being back, I think it was completely premature, right? This Miami is different, okay? And they always will be different. They win national championships here, and that will always be the standard.
And that's coming from a South Florida kid, knows of what he speaks. A.J. Taylor on the receiving end. Jonathan Taylor, congratulations. Needed 79 yards, and he's got it. #1, officially speaking, most single-season rushing yards by a freshman in FBS history, and even better for him, he gets to pass one of the guys he grew up idolizing in Adrian Peterson.
It's been a special year for that young man, and came into this season at Wisconsin as a true freshman, thought he might be the 4th-string running back.
New life for Adrian Peterson. Easy completion to A.J. Taylor. He'll be just short of the marker, bring up a 3rd down and short.
Now, I noticed that Miami defensively is playing a little bit more zone. That was a zone there on 2nd and long, and it was great recognition from Hornibrook. Saw the zone, saw his receiver set up in the zone, got it to him on time, and brings up a 3rd and short. Miami, I have no reason understanding why they wouldn't just play man-to-man coverage the whole game.
Yeah, they're down Malik Young right now. That's something to watch for. 3rd down and 1. Give it to Ramish, the fullback again. This is so foreign to everybody we've seen all season, Grease. Not just having a fullback, but playing him and giving him the football.
You need a fullback, but you also need a great block here on the 2nd level from this offensive line. Watch them take the defensive tackle and just deposit him into the linebacker. You have no chance to stop that play when you get that kind of push up front.
Ramish, the 5th-year senior out of Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin. On 1st down and 10. Back to Taylor. Stumbles forward for 4. 7.5 to go here in the half.
I think it'll be interesting to keep an eye on the depth of this defensive line, or lack thereof, for Miami. They've been rotating their linebackers, having different guys come in on and off the field, but not as much along the defensive front. And as the game goes on and Wisconsin continues to run the football, they may be able to start to impose their will a little bit more.
That's a great point, Todd. It's almost 2-1 now, plays for Wisconsin offense to Miami.
Manny Diaz said we've got a TFL defense. Tackle for loss. Here's Ramish again out of the backfield. And the fullback showing the athletic ability to leap over a defender.
Who says I'm just a battering ram, right? You think I'm going to go low on you? Delaney goes low. That is sweet right there. Sweet feet from Austin Ramish.
Gain of 13. D. Delaney's going to hear about that for a while. 6 different ball carriers for Wisconsin. And the fullback has 4 touches, 3 for 1st downs. We haven't seen that in the last few years combined. 1st down and 10. Back to Taylor for a couple. Jaquan Johnson came up to make the stop. Sound like a broken record with Johnson. He's in every play.
Yeah, he's such a good player. He kind of burst onto the scene this year. Think about Jaquan Johnson. You know, everybody talks about the interceptions, but he forces fumbles at an impressive clip. And the thing to me is that bottom line, he was named the team's most valuable player as a safety. That's pretty special.
And he's already said he'll be back next year. Not going to leave early for the NFL. That is good news around these parts. 2nd and 8. 12th play of the drive. Hornibrook the fake. And the throw. Back shoulder. It's A.J. Taylor. Touchdown, Wisconsin. He beat Sheldon Redwine for the score. The Badgers go back on top.
They tried this a number of times in the Big Ten championship game and weren't able to connect. A.J. Taylor from the slot on a fade to the outside. They got the matchup they wanted on the safety, Redwine, and just unbelievable concentration by A.J. Taylor.
That's exactly what Manny Diaz, the defensive coordinator for Miami, was worried about, that late separation. When the ball's in the air, his defensive backs getting their heads turned around to make the play.
Gaglianone puts it through.
Who says there's not going to be any offense in this game?
A lot of people thought 17-14 might be the final score. We're not even at halftime. We got points and some here in Miami. Hornibrook went 6 for 6 on that drive. 6 for 6. 68 yards and the touchdown. And that was the time-consuming drive. Took 6.5 minutes off the clock. 12 plays for the score. All right, here we go. 17-14. Miami trailing by a field goal with the football at the 25. Handoff to Travis Homer. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Garrett Rand. You want to talk about filling a hole. 5.5 to play here in the first half. Second and 10. Rosier able to complete, and then it's knocked away. Dale Harris had it, and then he lost it. Dakota Dixon made the stop. I mentioned Garrett Rand. He, along with Chikwe Obasi, they won a little deep-sea fishing exhibition. This lasted about 40 minutes. That's a 450-pound hammerhead shark.
Wow.
Now, they were in international waters, so they tagged it and then threw it back.
Oh, it took them 5 minutes to get it in?
Some of those guys at the time of their life.
That's awesome. They come down here and able to do that. I mean, kids from Wisconsin catching a hammerhead shark in the Atlantic Ocean. Good for them.
And that is the bowl experience. Miami's lost 9 yards on their last 7 plays. And it's Rosier in all sorts of trouble. It's Van Ginkel again. He had the big interception, and Van Ginkel is there to make another big play on defense.
Great design here on 3rd down from Jim Leonard. Here's Van Ginkel way over here. There's going to be a huge lane, Steve, but Van Ginkel is going to fill, and he's the one that makes the tackle on Rosier. This would have been a big gainer, but the design by Jim Leonard, perfectly executed by Van Ginkel, who's playing his butt off.
So that Leonard defense, the last 3 drives have all led to losing yardage. Nick Nelson is standing at his 32. And Fiegel's from his 9. Got some pressure from the left side. Fiegel's able to get it away. Back at the 28 is Nelson now. And he'll take a couple of big hits. It's a 49-yard punt. Van Ginkel's been the story for defense in Wisconsin. The loss there, he had the pick earlier that led to the score. Badgers by 3. And on 1st down, it's Taylor trying to follow the block of Ramish. And so people are going to see that highlight package you just showed. You know, why don't more schools go with a tight end?
Well, or tight end slash fullback, you know.
I mean, a fullback, I beg your pardon, yes.
Yeah, it's part of this offense, because a lot of teams run the spread, and spreads don't have fullbacks like this. So it's kind of a bygone era for fullbacks, but I'll tell you what, in the NFL they still use him.
Yep.
And if he gets an opportunity, he can catch the ball and protect the passer, and he'll have an opportunity.
2nd down and 3. Hornibrook on the inside slant to Danny Davis. His 2nd grab. The first went for 6 and a touchdown. And they'll move the chains, and the clock will wind, coming up on 90 seconds left in the half. Wisconsin has 2 timeouts left. That's a gain of 14.
I think if you're Alex Hornibrook and if you're Paul Chryst, take your time. There's no reason to rush here. You don't want to leave any time on the clock for Miami. You've got your 2 timeouts at the 30-yard line with a 1st down. Plenty of time.
And Wisconsin has converted their last 5 3rd down attempts. The ball at the 30 of Miami. Wisconsin up 3 and looking for more, and that's not going to help their cause. Sheldrick Redwine came up to make the stop.
After you have a negative run on first down here, you need to get a little bit of tempo. Yeah, they're not going to huddle. They're going to get right up there. They can't afford to go back in the huddle after that play.
Loss of 1 on the play. 45 seconds left in the half. Hornibrook throwing in a double coverage. A.J. Taylor had plenty of company. 3rd and 11.
And Hornibrook was lucky to get that one back. He threw it so far down the field, nobody could get it. It was ill-advised. Now you bring up a 3rd down situation here, and I think what Paul Chris is going to tell Alex Hornibrook is this: we got 3 points in our pocket. Don't do anything stupid here. Don't force the ball 11 yards down the field just to try to get a first down and risk turning the football over.
So Wisconsin's been great on 3rd down, but this is 3rd and 11. That's a different kind of category. Instant pressure on Hornibrook. Gets the ball away and complete to Kendrick Pryor. Down to the 10-yard line. Chris will spend a timeout.
Wisconsin.
This is what a confident quarterback will give you. He knows he's got pressure from the right. Just buy yourself enough time, shuffle a little bit, anticipate that throw. They get a big first down, and they're in business.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Miami head coach. Half the distance to the goal. That's the Miami coach's first of the game. Automatic first down.
While we were in commercial during the timeout, Mark Richt hot on the field and arguing and making some contact with an official as well.
Yeah, that is not normal for Mark Richt, and the new rule, he come out and argue anything on the field, they're going to call that.
One more and he'll be ejected from the game. Hornibrook back to the end zone. It's caught by Danny Davis for the touchdown. Second time they have hooked up. And the penalty is costly. Another score for the Badgers as Rick tries to compose himself. Third straight touchdown by Wisconsin.
What an answer by the Badgers. You know, all the momentum was with Miami in the first quarter. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and we're wondering if Wisconsin is sleepwalking through the first part of this game, and they have answered with 21 and unanswered here in the second quarter.
24-14, Wisconsin leads at the half. I can't wait to hear from Mark Richt. Let's go down to the field for tonight's AT&T Field Pass. Molly.
Thank you, Steve. Coach, you were sharing some words with the officials. What were you so upset about?
If you watch the tape, you'll see.
Steve, back to you.
All right, Grease, we've got some tape watching to do at halftime.
They'll be hot in the locker room, too. You think this is something, yelling at the officials? Wait till he gets in front of the team.
Pretty good grab of the arm as well there by the official. Rick was pushing his own people around. Fortunately for him, these bowl halftimes can be longer than during the regular season. 24-14 on Wisconsin. We'll send you to the studio for the halftime report after these messages. You're watching the Capital One Orange Bowl. Halftime in South Florida. And Wisconsin, thanks to 3 unanswered touchdowns, they lead by 10. Miami will start with the football. The way they ended the half was Mark Richt on fire.
Coach, you were sharing some words with the officials. What were you so upset about?
If you watch the tape, you'll see.
And we did watch the tape at halftime, Brian
Yeah,
Greasy.
you can see the right tackle, David Edwards, gets a hook around Trent Harris and kind of gives him a yank. And it was egregious in the eyes of Mark Richt, and he let the officials know about it. He even contacted one official, which that's a line you don't cross. And I'm surprised Mark Richt didn't get more of a penalty here in this situation, but he's got to get his team back. Part of this is he's really frustrated with the way that his team played in the second quarter.
Right, so it's not all about that play.
Right.
And we asked Bill LeMonnier about that, and he said he really didn't cost the defender a step on the play, which could constitute holding as well. But we've seen some holding calls go against them, and in the end, it becomes a 5-yard penalty. Was half the distance to the goal, but did allow Wisconsin to add yet another touchdown. It will be interesting to see how Miami now responds after a lengthy halftime. Had plenty of time to calm down. Here's Travis Homer on the return. He's out across the 20 and down to the lady who bear the brunt of that interview, Molly McGrath.
Well, head coach Paul Chris was a little bit happier at halftime. He thought that Andrew Van Ginkel's turnover completely changed that first half for his team. He said that gave them a little bit of confidence. They were able to settle in after that. And I asked him how to keep the momentum in their favor. He gave a short answer. That is the theme of the night. He said, we just got to stop them.
Time of possession that first half. Wisconsin had the ball over 21 minutes. Miami just 8.5 minutes. Pick of the Hurricanes to start out at the 22-yard line. It's been a dandy of a first half with Capital One Orange Bowl. Miami has seen a 14-3 lead disappear. Good play fake by Rosier. He'll keep it himself. Staying on his feet. Running the length of the field, the width of the field. That's the first down yardage. That's a whole lot of yards for 20.
It's a great play by Malik Rosier. There's nothing there down the field, makes one guy miss, and then just kind of keeps weaving his way back. I think this is a huge drive for the Miami Hurricanes. Offensively, they did nothing in the second quarter. It was a tale of two quarters. They went up 14-3, and then they were outscored 21-0 in the second. The stadium looks great, too.
It does. They did a great job.
Renovations here, unbelievable.
Super Bowl on the way in a couple of years. And here's Miami. Starting with excellent field position. Mike Harley on the receiving end from Malik Rosier. And to say the Miami offense has stalled since the Van Ginkel interception be an understatement.
Yeah, haven't been able to get any rhythm going, but great field position here, plus territory.
Rosier trying to get out of there. Lofts one all by himself is Lawrence Cager for the touchdown. He'll never make an easier grab. 38 yards on the score and the perfect touch by Rosier.
Just the answer that Miami needed, right? You know they got an earful at halftime from Mark Ripp and how hot he was going into the locker room. And the first drive, they kind of stalled there, but great job of keeping the eyes downfield by Malik Rosier, and Cager came wide open.
Yeah, I'm sure Rick wasn't only angry with the officials. He was disappointed in the way his team had played in that first half.
It's a great job, though, here. Here's where the read is, Steve. They're going to read the curl flat up here. That's the first read. But watch what happens here as Malik Rosier is looking over there, nothing there, nothing there. Now he escapes, but look at his head. Keeps his head downfield, and that's what opens up the big play. It's a great job of keeping your eyes down the field, and then Cager uncovering for the big play.
The last two touchdowns in this game from Miami have both been on two-play drives. Quick strike offense. Starting with great field position, both times starting on the Wisconsin side of the field. Cager, 2 touchdowns on the season. Picks up one here in the Capital One Bowl playoff game. And it's a field goal game right now. Latrell Jamerson from his goal line. Cut it up out to the 20-yard line. Check the Wisconsin answer, nearly intercepted. Shaquille Quarterman nearly wore the turnover chain. Wisconsin catches a big break.
This would have been an unbelievable interception from Shaq Quarterman. But we've seen Miami make these kinds of plays all season long. And Hornibrook trying to fit that one in there. They've run slant after slant after slant in the first half. Great adjustment by Manny Diaz and Shaq Quarterman to start biting on some of those.
From the 22. Hornibrook. Inside slant. Danny Davis has become his favorite target. It's their first down of the half after the gain of 13.
I did not expect these offenses to play this well in this game.
No, you didn't.
I'm being honest here.
No, and I'm agreeing and letting the people know you did not see this coming.
Good for them, though. I mean, these are two good defenses, and you can tell that these offenses and two offensive coaches that call plays and have a lot of pride in the way their offense performs, they've gotten their teams ready to play offensively.
Play fake. Hornibrook out to Ramish in the flat, the fullback. His third catch of the game. And his fourth first down.
I think Wisconsin is content to continue to slow this game down, realizing that they feel like they have the advantage in the fourth quarter. The way that their big offensive line comes off the ball and controls the line of scrimmage, and no rush whatsoever from Paul Chryst.
Approaching midfield now. 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Here's Taylor, and he's out across the 50. Wisconsin has outscored their opponents this season in the second half by an FBS best 173 points. They do think they're the better team in the second half.
Take a look at this, Steve. Look at this offensive set. It's like you have a whole offensive line to the left side of the center, because you got three tight ends in there, one of which is a tackle. What you're trying to do is create more gaps, and defenses have to be gap sound. And when you create three more gaps on the left side of the offensive line, you're testing Miami's ability to fill those gaps.
Got 4 yards on that last play, and maybe 1 on forward progress there. Zach McLeod came up to stuff the run.
That's just one of the ways that Paul Chryst will test defenses. He realizes he doesn't have the kind of playmakers that some other teams have on the outside, and he's lost some playmakers. So he's trying to find ways to create production in his offense, and that's a creative way of doing it.
You saw those eye-popping second half statistics. Wisconsin blows people out in the second half. Hornibrook all by himself in the backfield. Rushing 4. Hornibrook will throw on the run, and it's caught by A.J. Taylor. He paid the price and made the first down grab.
Cannot tell you how impressive A.J. Taylor has been in this game. Felt like Hornibrook could have run for the first down here, Steve, but he decides to pull the trigger. That's a dangerous pass, and he knows he's going to get hit by Jaquan Johnson. And time after time, especially on third down in tight coverage, Taylor's been up to task.
Gain of 18 on the play for the first down. See, Taylor's had himself quite a night. Wisconsin has 2 fullbacks in there, not just Ramish, but Alec Ingold checks in. And Hornibrook doesn't want to give it to any of them. Now they'll throw. Down the middle of the field, it's up and dropped. Troy Fumagalli had it in his hands. Would have been a terrific catch in double coverage at the goal line.
You got to give credit to Darian Owens, a backup will linebacker. Here he is right here. Watch what's going to happen. You're going to have Fumagalli come like this, almost like a naked, and then he goes up the seam, and Owens does not lose sight of him, and at the very last minute is able to get his hand up there and prevent that touchdown.
And that's a great ball by Hornibrook. He put that in the only spot available to his tight end. And I think 9 out of 10 times Fumagalli comes down with that. Here's 2nd and 10. On the ground. Chris James stuffed in the backfield for a loss. Chad Thomas makes the play.
Chad Thomas is tough. I mean, he's 6'6", 275 pounds. Nobody even touches him there. He's just got too much speed. I know Todd's got him on his big board. Going to be one of the early guys to come off the board for this Miami Hurricanes defense in the NFL draft.
Thomas, they say, has really improved against the run. You saw that on that play. Here's 3rd and 11. Good pocket for Hornibrook. Underneath, it's A.J. Taylor again for another first down conversion. All right, beg your pardon. Did not get what he needed. Brings up 4th down. D. Delaney came up to make the stop.
Yeah, that's Manny Diaz there. First time that he has played a 2-deep zone underneath, trying to force the underneath throw and then come up and make the tackle and force a field goal attempt.
Rafael Gaglianone has this in his bag. This will be a 47-yard field goal attempt. He's already hit from 35. On the way. And plenty good. Gaglianone, who has a school record 4 career game-winning field goals, including both in his prior 2 bowl games. See if that might just stand up. With 3:39 left here in the third. Wisconsin expands their lead to 6. Two dream matchups. Clemson and Alabama, I should say. Jeff Thomas spinning away. Thomas out to the 22-yard line. Well, yesterday at the Capital One Orange Bowl banquet, Dakota Dixon was awarded the Capital One Orange Bowl Football Writers Association of America Courage Award. The award annually given to a player, coach, or support person in college football who displays rare courage on or off the field. He was totally surprised. And then maybe he even surprised his birth mom. He hadn't seen his mom in over 15 years, and on Christmas Day following practice, he made the trip and went to find her with the assistance of his 2 sisters. DJ Dallas, the ball carrier, and he has first down yardage. It's a terrific story about a terrific young man whose parents were in and out of his life at an early age. And he credits his stepmom, Beth Caston, with saving his life. And the beautiful part of the story is, if Wisconsin is playing anywhere else, any other bowl game, he's not going to find her. Maybe not, sometime after the season, but because it was here in Miami, near where he lived the first 7 years of his life, he was able to go seek out, have a beautiful reunion. DJ Dallas now out of the Wildcat. We saw a lot of that in the first half. And that's how the third quarter comes to an end. We're on our way to a fine finish. It's a 6-point game, headed to the 4th in the Capital One Orange Bowl. You're watching the Capital One Orange Bowl. Steve Levy along with Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, the usual cast. Great to have Molly McGrath along the way. We welcome you all to the 4th quarter. The Capital One Orange Bowl. Miami has yet to convert on a 3rd down, Grease. Here's 3rd down and 8, a minute into the 4th. Rosier the throw, and it is caught. And there it is, the conversion. Lawrence Cager making the catch. Andrew Van Ginkel got some pressure.
Great throw here. Watch the pressure from Van Ginkel. You have to anticipate that throw from Rosier. It's thrown perfectly to the outside shoulder for Cager. You cannot do it any better than that.
Gain of 13, and there is that elusive 3rd down conversion for Miami. With the ball out at the 41.
No safety here in the middle of the field.
I know what that means. Rosier down the sideline and threw it out of bounds. Langham was there again with Tyndall.
That's not the ideal call when you have no safety in the middle of the field. You don't want to throw a fade on the outside. Attack where the defense is not. Get somebody down the middle of the field. But this Miami offense, they don't have the capability on every snap to audible like some other offenses, and they were stuck in that situation.
See the numbers on that Wisconsin defense. They've been the best they've been the best defense, #1 defense in the nation all season. You'd expect them to be great in the 4th quarter, and they have been. Rosier trying to step up, not that time. Not going to get away from Alec James.
You got Alec James matched up on the true freshman right guard Donaldson, and this is a mismatch. James, a 5th-year senior, just 2 experience with that slap and over move. Rosier had no shot.
3rd sack, Todd McShay.
And James, 4.5 career sacks coming into this year, and he finally started to put it together. Coming into this game, he had 5.5 sacks this season. Really doing a better job with his hands and working off the blocks.
Big play here on 3rd and 13. Rosier steps up and throws, and a clutch catch Lawrence Cager has been the go-to guy in the big spot for Miami. First down, Hurricanes.
This is getting real fun to watch. Quarterbacks anticipating blitz, anticipating throws. This is a beautiful spot from Malik Rosier, and Cager is starting to show up as a go-to receiver.
Gain of 14. Rosier wants to throw again. Across his body. Nearly intercepted. Batted up in the air. And it falls harmlessly to the turf. It's Van Ginkel again who got his hand on the ball.
Wow, anytime a quarterback, you're rolling to your left and then you try to throw back, bad things can happen. But Van Ginkel, he's just around the ball, isn't he? He doesn't do anything spectacular, but he's just always in great position. Jim Leonard know when he let one slip.
Second down and 10. Again, Miami to throw. Short one across the middle is caught. Forward progress will make it a short gain. That's Michael Irvin. Yes, the son of the Pro Football Hall of Famer. His first grab.
Third down is Braxton Berrios down. This is where they try to get him matched up. Let's see what Jim Leonard decides to do, who he's going to match up. Right now is Dakota Dixon walking over him in the slot, which tells me a zone is coming because he doesn't want to leave Dixon one-on-one in man coverage.
Converted the last time for the first time. Ball is batted up in the air. Knocked away. Isaiah Loudermilk makes the score sheet with a big play, batting that ball away.
Great job from Loudermilk. Got 6'7". He gets up and bats this football. If he doesn't get a hand there, you can see the ball's going to Berrios. He's right out there. He's going to be wide open. That was the zone, and Berrios knew it. Loudermilk saved the first down.
Loudermilk, one of the players who really benefited from the time between games, having nearly a full month. Here's Michael Bagley for 41 yards away to make it a three-point game on the way. And Bagley drills that one through. 11:34 to play here in the fourth. Badgers by just 3. See the Hurricane? They say the good teams win the close games.
Yep.
In one-score games, no one in the nation, well, the Power 5, as good as Miami. 4-0 one-score games. Washington State had the same great record in those one-score games.
They did it 4 games in a row, right in the middle of the season.
Big game there by Jonathan Taylor.
That's a nice job from Jonathan Taylor. They fake it to him, and then he becomes a primary receiver. That is one of the staples in Paul Chryst's offense, because what happens when you fake to a back, linebackers are in their head. They don't consider him an eligible receiver, and that's why he slips into the flat and is able to get a big gain. That's, if he can add receiving to his game, watch out for Jonathan Taylor in 2018.
Rips off 13 there. On first down and 10, Taylor on the ground. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. The clock winds under 11 minutes to play in a field goal game. In the 5th meeting all time between Wisconsin and Miami. The last time they got together was also in a bowl game, the 2009 Champs Bowl in Orlando. Wisconsin won that game 20-14. They controlled the clock in that game for over 39 minutes. Big rushing advantage. They controlled the clock here as well in a big way. 32.5 minutes. Hornibrook to throw down the middle of the field. It's juggled and brought in. A.J. Taylor, great concentration. And 7 black jerseys there trying to rip that football out.
Here's the first adjustment I've seen. Manny Diaz has gotten out of his patented man-to-man defense. Look at this, 2 safeties. This is a zone all the way, which allows Taylor to get behind the linebacker. It's a great read from Hornibrook, a great route from Taylor, Miami, I'm talking about their secondary, are afraid of covering these receivers for Wisconsin man-to-man. Never thought I would say that, but that's what's happening right here. And now Wisconsin's making the adjustment to throwing into the zone.
The protection was really good there as well. Taylor over 100 yards receiving. Hornibrook wants some more. And there is Troy Fumagalli coming across. And in case you weren't sure, you can hear it from the crowd. The Wisconsin faithful that made the trip. It's amazing to be such a great receiver. Jack Dunn is checked in now. On the ground, Ibrahim gets to the line of scrimmage. And Fumagalli's not afraid to have a little fun with the situation. He was telling us the other day that him and his boys in shop class got together when they were in high school, all the upperclassmen. And here come the underclassmen walking by, and they made as if there was an incident, an accident.
No, he didn't.
And Fumagalli said he scared off all the kids, and he said enrollment in shop, in the wood shop class, was way down with the underclassmen. Again, if Fumagalli can laugh about it, why can't we?
Absolutely.
Tremendous receiver for these Badgers. 2nd and 9. Again across the middle. Fumagalli's got his second grab. It's Fumagalli time.
And this is his calling card, making a tough grab in traffic. I mean, anything that gets anywhere near him, he just doesn't drop it. He never drops a pass. Look at that. 5 Miami defenders hit him, and he still brings that ball down for a huge first down.
Todd, NFL playing on Sundays?
No question. I think one of the top 5 or 6 tight ends drafted in this year's class. The irony of it all is his ball skills is his best trait. I mean, he's not great at separating. He's not the biggest, strongest blocker, but he catches just about everything in his zip code.
1st down and goal. Wisconsin looking to add to that 3-point lead. Hornibrook will drop it across and find Fumagalli. Winds up being a short gain. A lot of effort for a short game. Trajan Bandy, sure-handed tackler, the true freshman from Miami.
Well, you got to give credit to Bandy. This is a touchdown-saving tackle. He's 2 right there in the middle of the screen. He reacts. He's a true freshman. That ball's a little bit underthrown, allows Bandy to catch up to Fumagalli. That's well done by a young player for Miami secondary.
Bandy only was 5'9", 180. Fumagalli now with catches of 15, 12, and 4 yards there. 2nd down and goal.
Keep an eye on Ramish. In these situations, they love play action to the fullback. He's lined up down here.
Hornibrook looking the other way, able to complete for the touchdown. Danny Davis, the true freshman, his 3rd touchdown catch of the game. And a hat trick for him with 33 on the board for the Badgers.
Been all that they've done here inside the red zone to throw the fade. This is, as you mentioned, the 3rd time for Davis, and defender just never turned around, never got to head around to make a play on the ball. Had he done so, he may have had an interception.
Gaglianone on. It's a 10-point game again. Think about the true freshmen, Jonathan Taylor and Danny Davis for Wisconsin. Hornibrook's only a sophomore. He's got 4 touchdown passes. Badgers by 10. What a turnover chain looked like in 1946. Down to Molly.
Yeah, Steve, Alex Hornibrook is as cool as a cucumber. After that Danny Davis touchdown, he came over to the sideline. He was dancing with Jonathan Taylor. They both started hitting Hornibrook. He looked at them deadpan, didn't even crack a smile, shook his head, took a sip of water, and then just looked back down at the ground. So he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low, perhaps a reason for his success.
And that's really helped with all the interceptions he has thrown to stay even-keeled. And he's done a good job with that. He was 5 for 5 on that last touchdown drive. 4 touchdown passes here, ties the Orange Bowl record. And the biggest thing with Hornibrook, he has not thrown an interception here tonight.
What's that shit?
Travis Homer able to pick up.
He hasn't missed a lot of throws at all tonight. There was a little bit of a shaky start in the first quarter, but after that, Alex has been on point. And, you know, he's trying to redeem himself after that tough Big Ten championship game, just like Malik Rosier.
Here's Homer on the ground for the first down.
I would say the biggest difference, though, is he's had time to throw the football. His offensive line has played much better tonight against a good Miami defensive front, much better than they did against that Ohio State defense, obviously, which most offensive lines are going to struggle against Bosa and company.
7 minutes left. Canes down 10. Rosier, plenty of time to throw. Left one, got a man middle of the field. Jeff Thomas, did he bring it down? He did. Derek Tyndall, it's about as good as coverage as you can have. Jeff Thomas, true freshman, true concentration.
Look at this speed from number 4. I mean, Derek Tyndall can run, and Jeff Thomas just ran right by him. Talking with Mark Richt yesterday, he said Jeff Thomas is the one player on our offense that you're going to notice a huge difference in speed against a Wisconsin team.
First down and goal. Ball at the 10. Rosier on a quarterback draw. Gets a couple. Ryan Connolly met him face on. Clock winds, 6.5 to go.
That was an outstanding play by Ryan Connolly. There were 2 offensive linemen assigned to him, and he split both of them and was able to get Malik Rosier on the ground. He was the only one left assigned to the quarterback.
Miami still has 2 timeouts. Connolly's looking for more. DJ Dallas out of that Wildcat. Not fooling anybody anymore. Again, it's Connolly, the first man in, along with Leon Jacobs. And it's a 3rd down and goal.
This Wisconsin defense, there is nobody in college football better than them of keeping offenses out of the end zone in the red zone. They're number 1 in college football. This is going to be a tough touchdown for Mark Richt in this Miami offense on 3rd down.
It's big play time. Rosier on the move. Grabbed around. Andrew Van Ginkel, very nearly a horse collar, and Van Ginkel let go.
That's unbelievable.
That's discipline.
Awareness, exactly right. He knew he had Rosier stopped. Here's Van Ginkel right here. He knew he had him stopped, and you're right. He had that hand up around the horse collar and the nameplate area, and alertly brings it down to his waist. That is just smart football, and that's what Wisconsin is, defensively especially. Smart, tough football.
Here's Badgley. From 23. No good.
Wow.
Off the upright and no good.
Badgley has made more field goals in Miami history than any other kicker. He passed the leader, Carlos Huerta, this season. That is an anomaly.
A 23-yard attempt you had to have, and they don't. On the ground. 2 hands on the ball. That's Chris James. And Miami has used their last timeout. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left. Up by 10 points. And with the football.
4 yards for Wisconsin, and this game's over. And the way that they've been coming off the ball and running downhill, I like their odds.
Miami is out of timeouts. On the ground, and James. Bring up a 3rd down. Wisconsin has had the football for some 37 minutes to just 20 for Miami. Since the Hurricanes led 14-3 after the first quarter, Badgers have outscored the Canes 31-10. And at 14-3, the game sort of started to feel like it was getting away altogether from Wisconsin. Very impressive.
Yeah. Don't be shocked to play action here from Paul Chryst.
3rd and 4. Okay, Tony Bromo. Chris James, the ball carrier. Right, you know you're down 2 scores, you're down 10, and you play it that way. So, all right, we'll try whatever, and then we know we have the field goal in our back pocket.
Well, yeah, they called 3 pass plays, and, you know, Wisconsin defended them well, and they did the right thing, didn't force the ball, and then your kicker just missed it.
Berrios will call for the fair catch, and there's 97 seconds left.
Clemson is the big bad Imperial Empire that Miami needs to set their sights on in the ACC.
3rd and 10. Ball popped up into the air. 3rd interception. It will go for Ryan Connolly in the right spot at the right time. And the Badgers can truly start to celebrate now. Third interception of the game, coming off the arm of Malik Rosier.
Yeah, and that'll be the stat line for Malik Rosier, but really only one of them is his fault. That's not his fault. Travis Homer, you know, bats the ball up in the air. The first one to Van Ginkel, right? McDermott, the left tackle, doesn't get the cut. So I know everybody just looks at the stats, but Malik Rosier played a better game than what his stats will look like tonight.
And again for Miami, the storyline also, they have lived by the turnover. The turnover chain was a product of that, but they have lived by the turnover, and they were only able to turn Wisconsin over 1 time on their first defensive series. 70 seconds left.
And what a year for Paul Chryst. I mean, they're going to look back on this season as
record-setting.
As a record-setting season, absolutely. They were 6 points shy of the college football playoff to a Ohio State team that we now know after watching last night. Pretty good football team. And Paul Chryst has got a bunch of pieces to build around on offense for next season, evidenced by Danny Davis and A.J. Taylor and Alex Hornibrook. To me, in my mind, really made a statement tonight.
Big Ten feeling pretty good about themselves.
7-0.
7-0. Let's left your Wolverines. Michigan against South Carolina. Monday in the Outback Bowl. See it here on ESPN. Alex Hornibrook, 23 and 34. This never gets old.
He's elusive.
Cat-like reflexes.
How about Paul Chryst, the first 3 years at Wisconsin? 10 wins, 11 wins, and now 13 wins. I mean, how good is that?
Wisconsin so impressive, trailing 14-3 in the first quarter, outscored Miami the rest of the way, 31-10.
We didn't talk much about that offensive line and their age, but that entire offensive line has the capability of coming back next season with Jonathan Taylor, Alex Hornibrook, and those bevy of wide receivers. They get Quintez Cephas back. There could be a great offense next year in Madison.
Get back down to the field. Here's Molly with the coach.
Thank you, Steve. Coach, Miami known for their turnover chain, but your defense was forcing turnovers tonight that absolutely changed the game. How did that spark your entire team?
I think it was huge. Obviously, you know, Van Ginkel's interception was big. DT keeps him from getting points, and, you know, it takes a team to beat a good team like Miami, and I thought, you know, our special teams were good. Hoffitt's a big field goal, and I thought Alex played particularly well, and it was a heck of a team effort.
Your passing game has struggled at times this season. How did that find success tonight?
I think guys protected, and Alex was sharp and got in the hands of guys made plays. You know, I mean, KP came up big plays. Danny had big plays. Foom had a big catch. AJ was good. Rammers played really well. That's what I like about this team, is it takes everyone.
Coach, people doubted this team at times, especially because of their record. You were one loss shy of making it to the playoff. How does this win validate the caliber of this team?
I don't know. I mean, it's our team has a lot of confidence, and the thing they did best was just be in each moment and make the most of those moments. And I thought they played for each other. And you know, you play the whole season and you earn, you know, what you get. And I'm proud of this team, and they can call themselves Orange Bowl champions. That's pretty big.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Steve?
Wisconsin began playing football in 1889. This is their first ever Orange Bowl appearance. What an appearance it was. And their first ever 13-win season. Our final score, the Badgers knock off the Hurricanes in Miami, 34-24. Stay tuned for the Ford Escape postgame.